Evening on Karl Johann Street by Edvard Munch. This painting from 1892 evokes the eerie feeling of emptiness amid a bustling world. Faceless figures with hollow eyes wandering a city street at dusk. In much the same way, we live in an age of unparalleled abundance and convenience, yet many of us feel strangely empty inside. We have almost everything one could want externally: gadgets, entertainment, comfort, endless information, but nothing that truly fills the void within. This paradox is at the heart of our modern malaise. Why do we feel so empty in a world that seems to have everything? We are drowning in convenience but starving for purpose. Never before have so many had so much material comfort and instant gratification at their fingertips. Yet millions wake up each morning feeling empty. Psychologists refer to this as an existential vacuum, a pervasive sense of purposelessness in life. Decades ago, Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist Viktor Frankl saw this coming. He once said, "Ever more people today have the means to live, but no meaning to live for." Statistics bear this out. A recent 2023 study found that nearly 60% of young adults reported experiencing little or no meaning in their lives. That's double the proportion from just a few decades ago. In other words, our generation has material wealth and technology unthinkable in the past, yet feels more aimless and empty than perhaps any before. We have everything on the outside, and nothing on the inside. Why is this happening though? How can it be that after achieving so much progress and abundance, we're left with a gnawing inner void? The answers are quite complex, but let's explore a few key reasons behind this modern emptiness. One major cause is mistaking pleasure for purpose. When people lack a deeper sense of meaning, they often distract themselves with pleasure, chasing the next purchase, the next thrill, the next dopamine hit. Society encourages this. Advertising us as chasing cars and clothes, working jobs we hate so we can buy stuff we don't need. We gorge on fast food, binge watch shows, scroll through social media, play video games for hours. Not because these are deeply fulfilling, but because these momentarily numb the emptiness. As Frankl noted, when a person can't find a deep sense of meaning, they distract themselves with pleasure. Instead of confronting our spiritual hunger, we feed ourselves material junk food. It's a vicious cycle. The more we consume, the emptier we feel. And the emptier we feel, the more we seek easy pleasures to fill the void. Modern consumer culture exploits this cycle mercilessly. We're told that happiness is just one more purchase away. Buy the latest phone, the designer clothes, the luxury car. Then you'll finally be happy. But after the initial buzz, the emptiness returns stronger than ever. The things you own end up owning you, and no amount of owning can fill that inner void. This line from Fight Club put it bluntly. Advertising has us working jobs we hate so we can buy shit we don't need. We have no Great War, no Great Depression. Our Great War is a spiritual war. A Great Depression is our lives. In a world of plenty, many of us are waging a quiet spiritual war each day, fighting to find purpose beyond the next paycheck or purchase. Another source of emptiness is that we often live by others' expectations rather than our own values. Society hands us a ready-made script for life. Go to school, get a degree, find a good job, get married, buy a house, have kids. On paper, you might have it all. But whose all is it? People achieve these milestones only to discover that they were chasing goals set by others. Parents, peers, social norms, rather than goals that truly matter to them. Psychologist Rollo May observed this decades ago. Many people feel hollow because they are describing what others expect of them, rather than what they themselves want. A quote that I often like to reflect on says that I'm just a collection of mirrors, reflecting what everyone else expects of me. Living a life that isn't authentically yours is a surefire path to inner emptiness. Hyper-individualism in modern culture makes this even harder. We're told we can be anything, but given no guidance on what is worth being. Traditional sources of meaning like religion, family, community have weakened in many places, leaving a void where a value system used to be. We have total freedom and no clue what to do with it. Crafting your own identity and purpose from scratch is an overwhelming task, and many people simply drift, picking up whatever goals society sells them. It's easy to wake up in your 30s or 40s having checked all the boxes of a successful life, yet feeling deeply unfulfilled because none of it truly came from you. We live in the most connected era in history, and paradoxically, one of the loneliest. Through the internet and social media, you can reach anyone, anywhere, at any time, yet so much of it is surface level connection without genuine community or intimacy. Social media in particular is a double-edged sword. It bombards us with curated highlights of others' lives. Everyone else seems happier, more accomplished, more fulfilled. Comparing our messy reality to this filtered perfection leave us feeling inadequate and empty by contrast. We may have hundreds of online friends and followers, yet no one to truly confide in when we're hurting at 2 a.m. Loneliness and isolation have become an epidemic of their own. Rates of anxiety and depression are at all-time highs, especially among young people. Feeling alone in your struggles amplifies that inner void. Humans are social creatures at the end of the day. We need meaningful relationships to feel whole, but modern life has fragmented community bonds. When you're lonely, the world can have everything to offer, and none of it matters because what you lack is a sense of belonging and understanding. No amount of mindless scrolling or superficial chatting can substitute for real human connection. Without true friends, family, or a tribe, the emptiness just echoes even louder. Past generations often rallied about great struggles or shared purposes. Fights for survival, freedom, civil rights. These challenges, while harsh, gave life a clear meaning and direction. Today, on the surface, it seems we have no such grand purpose. We have no Great War, no Great Depression to define us. Our wars are internal. Our depressions are existential. Life can feel strangely easy yet empty, comfortable but devoid of significance. When survival is all but assured and everyday life is a comfortable routine, one can't help but ask, is this it? What am I supposed to do with my life now? Ironically, a human being needs a bit of struggle and striving to feel alive. Psychologists have found that having a worthwhile goal or challenge is critical for mental well-being. To be mentally sound, an individual must constantly be struggling and striving for a worthwhile goal. When life is all safety nets and no mountains to climb, we start to atrophy on the inside. Many people today float through a comfortable, monotonous existence. A stable job, a steady routine, everything seems fine. Yet on the inside, they feel bored, stagnant, and empty. It's as if, in eliminating many external hardships, modern society unintentionally eliminated the very things that gave many people lives, passion, and meaning. Without something to fight for or build, the human spirit starts to fade. So if the default script of modern society is to consume, conform, and climb the ladder, leads to emptiness, what can you do then? In my opinion, it's to rebel. Opt out of the hollow life. Reject the notion that this is just how it is. The truth is you do not have to play by the rules of a game that leaves you dead inside. Some people are already quietly rebelling and finding their own path. They're questioning the scripts handed to them. They're saying no to the relentless consumer treadmill and choosing meaning over materialism. For an example, the entire movement of minimalists has emerged. These are people who decide to live with less stuff and less superficial busyness in order to reconnect with them to what really matters in life. Minimalism isn't a meaning unto itself. It's a path toward finding meaning. The point isn't to have an empty home for its own sake, but to free yourself from the clutter, physical and mental, that weighs you down so you can focus on what makes you truly feel alive. Others choose to opt out in more radical ways. For example, what I have done for myself in the financial realm and what have many others have is embraced Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as a whole as a form of a rebellion, a way to exit a societal system they see as soulless or oppressive. The fiat world wants you soft, broke, and obedient. Bitcoin is your ticket out. The message is that you don't have to accept the status quo, whether it's the money system, the career rat race, or any aspect of life that rings hollow. You can seek alternatives that align better with your values and desire for meaning. Of course, investing into Bitcoin or just getting into minimalism alone won't magically just fill your soul, but they symbolize a broader urge to reclaim autonomy and purpose rather than just go through the motions. So at its core, opting out means refusing to remain a zombie in a world full of shiny things. It means confronting that emptiness head on and choosing to build a life that you find meaningful, even if it might look odd to others. It could be as simple as prioritizing your art, your family, or a cause you care about without over-chasing a bigger paycheck. It could mean stepping off the social media hamster wheel and engaging with people face-to-face, or pursuing a humble but fulfilling vocation instead of a prestigious but soul-sucking career. It could mean traveling the world, or moving to a cabin off the grid, or staying right where you are, but changing your mindset to live more intentionally. The specific form of rebellion is up to you. What matters is that you give yourself permission to do it. Once you opt out of the values that don't fulfill you, you create space to fill that void with substance. What truly gives life meaning? Viktor Frankl's research and experience suggest a few timeless sources of purpose we can cultivate: creative work, love, and courage in suffering. We find meaning by creating or doing something that matters, whether it's art, innovation, helping others, mastering a skill, rather than just consuming. We find meaning through authentic relationships, by caring for others and experiencing real love and connection. And we even find meaning in how we face life's struggles, by turning pain into growth, using challenges as fuel for strength and for wisdom. In short, the cure for emptiness is engagement with life. Engage in work that excites you or serves a purpose. Engage with people and nurture your bonds. Engage with your own challenges instead of avoiding them. It requires effort and often courage. It's much easier to stay numb and drifting. But nothing worth having comes easy. Meaning has to be created, fought for, and chosen. As Frankl emphasized, meaning is not something you discover passively. It's something you create actively. You have to participate in your own life rather than watch it from the sidelines. Yes, this does mean going against the grain. It might mean being seen as an intense or strange because you refuse to just smile, consume, and shut up like everyone else around you does. It is, in a word, rebellious. But it's a rebellion in service of a life that actually feels worth living. You're opting out of a society's empty norms that you can opt into what makes you feel whole again. Feeling empty in a world that has everything is not a personal failing. It's a sign that something is deeply wrong in our society's priorities, and you are awake enough to notice it. It means you have a yearning that designer goods, mindless entertainment, and status quo living cannot satisfy, and that's a very positive thing in my eyes. That emptiness is a doorway. A walk through it, confront it, and you can transform it into a new kind of fullness. In a society that wants you numb, obedient, and consuming, choosing to seek your own meaning is an act of defiance. It may start as a quiet revelation between yourself and no one else, questioning assumptions, shedding the excess, seeking genuine connections and goals. But that inner rebellion can grow into a whole new life path. You don't have to accept feeling dead inside. In fact, that pain is telling you to just wake up, to take back your life from a world that's happy to steal it, to find your purpose, your people, your passion, the things that light a fire in the void. Just remember, if you don't decide what matters in your life, someone else will decide it for you, and they'll never choose what truly feeds your soul. So stand up, reject the hollow comforts that keep you empty, seek the truth of your own heart, and build a life around it. It's a risk, it's a challenge, and it's certainly not the easy path, but it's the only path that leads out of the emptiness. In a world that has everything, dare to seek the one thing it cannot give you, and that's meaning. And in doing so, you might just turn your hollow existence into a truly whole life, rich with purpose and passion. You owe it to yourself to try. After all, this is your life and it's ending 1 minute at a time. Don't waste another minute living someone else's idea of it. Embrace the emptiness as a call to action. Opt out of the emptiness and fight for your own meaning. In that fight, you will no longer be empty. You will be truly alive.